So what effect now can you achieve with the protest?
Well, there's significant actions. We have significant concerns. We want answers to our questions. Simply, why is the city so dead set on putting toxic turf everywhere in town? There's plenty of other infill materials that are much safer, like Corcodow, made from cork and coconut husks. It's a natural product. We also want to know what process, what happened where the city came to this decision, to have a dog and pony show on the steps of City Hall and say we're going to put out an opposing poison control initiative and make certain that Prop H fails. There's a citizens initiative process. We don't like that. So what we're doing now is we're asking people to contact their supervisors. We're holding our elected and appointed officials accountable. That's what we need to do. So call them, email them, tell them you don't want toxic turf in your kids' playgrounds and on our ball fields. We're also recommending that people sign a petition to tell Cal Recycle, the California State Recycling Board, to stop incentivizing the use of toxic turf because they pay municipalities to take care of their 40 million extra tires a year that they can't dispose of problem. And the way that they do that is they pay people. Here's 150 grand. Throw 700,000 pounds of toxic chopped up tires on your ball fields. Here's your money. Business decisions, especially in this department, made not really so much about parks and health, more about money. This is an enterprise. This agency, Rec and Park, is an enterprise agency. No mistake. They're out to privatize our parks, and they want pay to play. However they can get that, however they can get money, they'll get money.
This is an independent agency,
Rec and Park. The Rec and Park Department, whose lodge we're standing in front of right now, their headquarters, is a city department. Its general manager, Phil Ginsberg, is former chief of staff, Gavin Newsom. No parks experience whatsoever. He is a manager. He has made business decisions based upon money, consistently. And this is no exception. We want to know what's behind this public-private partnership with the Fisher Brothers. We want to know what favors are being traded. We want to know why our parks are being filled with plastic and has-beens.
So the Fisher Brothers have some corporation that works with this park and rec.
They have a private foundation, and they manage the private contracts which are part of each and every one of these toxic turf installations. We don't get to see them. This is clearly a partnership, a public-private partnership that does not pass the smell test.
Got it.
Quite literally.
What's the name of the foundation?
It's called the City Fields Foundation. They're linked in, Susan Hirsch is a highly paid lobbyist, also Patrick Hannon, and they also represent other interests at play in City Hall as well. If you follow the linkages, you see that it's, some call it a spider's web of invested private interests in City Hall. I call it a rat's nest.
In the 17th century, they called it an octopus.
An octopus, yes, or in this case, a coctopus, perhaps. I don't know. The Fisher Brothers are known as dark money contributors to Koch brothers campaigns.
Yeah. And this is very clear, and it'll be right in front of our listeners this evening. So, is there anything else you'd like to add?
I would just like to add that all this work, all this effort on the part of so many San Franciscans, I'm extremely grateful. So many people are so concerned, and that makes me very happy. If we can save the life of one child or spare a single family pain and suffering that accompanies the sickness of a loved one by keeping toxic turf off of our ball fields and out of our playgrounds, this action is worth it. That's what I want.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Good luck to you.
Thanks.
Okay.
So how much did Prop I lose by? I wasn't here. It lost by, Prop I won by how much, and Prop H lost by a certain percentage of votes.
How many total votes?
Yeah.
I think it was around 10,000.
Like 4? And
Yeah, it was 40. The percentages were 55 to 45. I don't know the exact numbers off the top of my head. So 10%, 20,000 votes. But 100,000 San Franciscans voted to keep toxic turf out of our ballparks.
Now, a coastal commissioner resigned shortly before. Well, didn't Nancy Pelosi and Dianne Feinstein want this?
Well, the Gap contributed to both of their campaigns. There's through a PAC, Political Action Committee, and there's a number of other linkages as well. The artificial turf manufacturer Greenfields formed a political action committee. They also donated to Dianne Feinstein's campaigns. She signed on as the official proponent of Prop I, the poison pill initiative. So I'd like to congratulate her. She's now officially our poison legislator.
It fell on the Federal Coastal Commission. There's a resignation.
The California Coastal Commission. That process was described as thuggery by the attorney who prosecuted that case. He said that this particular project would not have happened anywhere else in any other place in California, and he's right. They were bought and paid for.
So it's this is
extreme malleability on the part of new coastal commissioners. Steve Blank, an established, long-standing coastal commissioner, described the project at the Beach Chalet as being the worst mistake the city of San Francisco has made since the Embarcadero Freeway, and one that one in which San Franciscans will have to explain to their children.
Well, this is banned in New York, and where else?
Banned in New York, LA. They used other products in places like Piedmont, San Carlos, Washington State.
And
there's any number of other products.
It's not even. It's worth adding that you can't replace these fields. Once they're in, they're in.
Once they're in, they're in. It's very difficult to get all the toxic materials out. They try to vacuum them out, but there's still remainders. Basically what we're doing is we're creating toxic waste trails in our parks. Regardless of, at some point, 10 years from now, these fields will be banned everywhere, but we'll be stuck with the toxic waste trails from these parks.
And actually, it takes more water to maintain this than it would grass, like the grass we're standing on. It
absolutely does. We're using recycled water to wash the snot, spit, and human and animal waste off of the fields, and every bit of it is being dumped into the combined sewer system, every drop. Natural field system, grass uses some of the water, some of the rainwater. The matrix of soil and healthy fungus beneath the grass filters, purifies the water, and adds it back to our aquifer. So not a drop is wasted for us.
Yeah, the choice is clear to people who pay attention, and unfortunately it wasn't during a presidential election, so we really didn't get out the people who would have voted against this fake grass. That's my opinion.
Well, it's the ostrich syndrome. We defeat it a little bit at a time.
Yeah, we have to chip away at it, don't we? Yeah. Well, thank you very much. Your name is?
MikeMurphy.
And your contact address?
It can be reached at info@protectggp.org.
All right. And you have a Facebook page?
Yeah, Coalition to Protect Golden Gate Park.
You're saying with the toxic tires, Kentucky is... Now, we're in front of the Gap right now. Why are we protesting in front of the Gap?
Protesting in front of the Gap because 3 of the top 2,000 wealthiest people on the face of the planet own the Gap, Banana Republic, and Old Navy. And they're responsible for this toxic turf being put all over the city. Their private foundation, the City Fields Foundation, works hand in hand with Rec and Park in the effort to privatize our parks.
I see. But why do we have to have toxic turf? I mean, can't they use coconut
Yeah,
fibers?
the short answer is we don't need the toxic turf. The reason that they use it is because the people that they work with, Bechtel owns some process patents for the recycling and the tires, and they want sponsorship. They want sponsorship in our parks. Rec and Park gets kickbacks from Cal Recycle.
Yeah.
We're one of only 4 states in the country that incentivizes the use of toxic waste tires.
And where are the
playgrounds.
Yeah. And where are the supervisors on this now?
The supervisors are absent. They're missing. With the exception of David Campos, who would like to see something less toxic on our playgrounds, like grass. The other supervisors have been bought and paid for by the corporate sponsors.
Of course they are. Not one of them has a conscience, huh?
No conscience.
So anybody else besides, I'm not even going to ask about Ed Lee, any of the supervisors.
No, I yelled at Ed Lee. He was in front of my son's elementary school for Inclusion Week.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, the SFUSD is attempting to mainstream or work with students with ADHD and autism. And he was there as a visible presence in my son's preschool, or my son's school, which is one of the better inclusion schools. Unfortunately, a lot of the chemicals in the toxic turf cause these conditions.
Well, Ed Lee was just probably at a photo op because he's got 2015 to think about, right?
Yeah. Well, he announced his candidacy for mayor at Kezar Stadium, where they want to do a track, refurbish the track there with toxic tire waste.
So they pretty much want to redo as many of the parks with toxic tire waste as possible.
Yeah, it's good money. It's a good revenue stream for the city, and if they get money from their private partners, then it's just an evil conspiracy.
Right. What are we getting from Beach Chalet project? $138,000 from the state.
The state will give the city $150,000 if we win the lottery. So basically our Rec and Park department and City Hall is sold out. Children's health, public health for $150,000. Cheap. That's how cheap we are.
I'm speechless. What? So you're just really clinging to a thread of hope here, huh?
I don't know that it's a thread of hope. I mean, the more awareness people see the signs, they associate.
And the Milk Club.
Yeah,
I told the Milk Club.
Number of groups, organizations who are supportive of this effort, and it's getting more and more media attention.
Is it? Oh, that's good to hear. So there are allies in this. You're not standing here alone with three people in front of the gate, because I just shared it on Facebook.
No, people are watching. We're a green city. It's a real embarrassment to turn our parks into plastic and toxic waste dumps.
It's very hypocritical. It just shows it's a microcosm of the money and out of government issue. We need to get money out of government. Until we do, we're going to have these problems.
We've been demonstrating weekly, with occasional exceptions for rain or the holidays.
Over there in the park?
Right in front
11
of
a.m. every Sunday?
Rec and Park headquarters, right there where called McLaren Lodge, where the Fell Street, enters the park there and swings around.
At
right
the end
there,
of the Panhandle?
Their headquarters, yeah. We've had a bunch of people. It's today, I don't know, they may still be coming. We'll be here till 2, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Around lunch hour, there'll be a number of people there, workshoppers.
The reason why he won't admit that toxic tires are bad for the environment, and why he wants to fine you $4,000 through the Ethics Commission.
Well, the mayor receives campaign contributions from the very wealthy, LinkedIn, Old Money, San Francisco donors. It's the same network, and the Fisher brothers are part of that network. Sadly, rather than fight the citizens initiative on a level playing field. You know, they had to have their own initiative. Poison pill, just like the toxic turf, the poison turf.
Yeah.
And in prosecuting that action, the mayor's office actually donated, the mayor's campaign donated money to the Fisher brothers, like they needed. And his friends at the Parks Alliance laundered money to also for the campaign. And the Parks Alliance actually is a revenue collection agent for the city. There's some pretty insidious ties in City Hall to this project, Golden Gate Park. In fact, all the toxic turf projects. The Ethics Commission has stated to me their intention to go forward with a $4,000 fine against the coalition. At their suggestion, I checked the wrong checkbox, and the mayor, you know, the ethics commissioners are mayoral appointees, so the ethics commission itself is a tool for the mayor's office to persecute those who stand up against the city babbling. So I'm just the latest in a long line of persecuted individuals and groups that stood up against the city babbling. I'm going to go forward. You know, there's a closed door hearing, and then there will be a public hearing. I told them I'm not the guy that you want at a public hearing, so I will tell the truth. I will expose all the corruption in downtown.
And make the public record.
Yeah. And I'll bring in the 22,000 pages of documents that say toxic turf is toxic. And they're still going to go forward with it. I'm surprised.
Oh, that's cheeky.